Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. Today we're going to talk about the original SARMs triple stack. But before we get into that, just a big thank you to everybody subscribing and supporting the channel. Thank you for the subs, the likes, the comments, the emails. I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon after you subscribe so you don't miss any updates from YouTube on when I'm producing new content. Also, if you're enjoying the videos, click that like button for me real quick. It goes a million miles to help the channel grow. And also, if you haven't yet, follow me on Apple, Spotify, and Google. SARMs Expert Podcast. All of these videos are in podcast form for you as well. So let's jump in. So, the original SARMs triple stack, and I'm talking way back, the OG original first SARMs triple stack. That consisted of MK2866, S4, and GW501516. This is one of the most tried and true stacks. It's been ran countless times. It's the go-to stack. It's a great first stack for people. Men and women can both run it just fine and almost exactly similarly on the dosing. But I want to cover with you how to run it, kind of the expectations from it, and the dosing protocol for both men and women. It's a 12-week stack. Look, these generally start to peak around 8 weeks, so you definitely don't want to stop while they're at their peak. That's like Michael Jordan retiring in his prime. You don't want to do that because there's still good years left, so there's still good weeks left to gain off of this. But you don't want to go too long either, and that's why it's capped at 12 weeks, because that's when you start to reach the max potential on what you're going to get out of it, and there's no point in continuing on because it's going to be diminished gains and returns. All right, so for men, MK2866 is going to be 25 milligrams a day the first 2 weeks, and then you're going to bump it to 50 milligrams. For women, it's 12.5 milligrams the first 2 weeks, and then you're going to bump it to 25 milligrams the rest of the way. That's the only difference in dosing. So for men and women alike, S4 and GW are going to be exactly the same. So S4 is going to be 50 milligrams a day, and GW501516 is going to be 20 milligrams a day. Now, MK and GW are dosed once a day. They have long half-lives. They only need once a day dosing. S4 is a split dose, 25 milligrams in the morning and 25 milligrams 4 to 6 hours later. I have done a separate video I would encourage you to watch on if you want to attempt to increase S4 dosing, on how to do it safely and properly to have the best likelihood of making it through. So I would encourage you to go watch that video. I'm not going to get into all of that in this video, obviously, because that was an entire video to cover it. But that is it. It's a 12-week cycle. The dosing is very simple. It doesn't need to be something that you overthink or try to complicate. It is not that complicated at all. Now, for men, it does require a mini post-cycle therapy. Go watch my video on SARMs post-cycle therapies to understand what I'm talking about here. So I always have people run a test booster the last 4 weeks of the SARMs cycle, and then you can in post-cycle. I don't put it as a requirement. It's certainly not going to hurt you. There's great testosterone boosters out there that you can use. I like N2 Generate. It's a very strong, and it's been around for over a decade, and it's tried and true, just like the cycle is. So that's one that I recommend. But that you, just as long as you've got a nice test booster that you trust, that's what you're going to want to use there. Now, in terms of the post-cycle, Clomid or Novadex at a low dose along with GW501516, and then if you want, you can do the test booster in there, and that is all that you need. Now, women don't need a post-cycle therapy, but I do say it's completely fine to run a test booster 4 weeks after the cycle. Look, just like men need estrogen in much lower amounts than women, women do need testosterone, and women can get testosterone shut down. So it's just nice. It's certainly not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you, and it's good for ensuring that recovery after the cycle. But this is a very, very cut and dry cycle. Now, what can you expect on it? You can expect lean muscle. You can expect a lot of strength, healing, recovery, endurance, fat loss, help with blood pressure, help with cholesterol. Even S4 has some possible benefits with your prostate, and the fat loss, endurance, and lean muscle gain is what you're going to notice the most in this cycle. The healing from MK and the recovery is also a huge deal here, but there is so much benefit here, and it's really not too hard on anybody as a first-time user especially. The only really thing in there is the S4 with the vision side effect, which is easily mitigated and often not even an issue so much if people are dosing it responsibly. But other than that, this is a very mild cycle. It's full of benefits, and I cannot say enough about how great of a cycle this is. And it's often one that I recommend for a first-time user. If you're looking for a good SARMs recommendation, because people ask me constantly, SARMs for sale, that's at sarms.FORSALE. That's where I recommend. I'm not saying that's the only place that you can get good quality from, but I trust them enough to say go there, and I know it's not going to wreck my name or make me look bad. They're good people. They've been around for a while. Many of us have used their products a lot. So I give them a little cheap plug on who I recommend. So because I get asked all the time, and it's there for you on who my recommendation would be. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli signing off.